Milk Cartel, back with another kick-ass beer review. Today I'm going to review the Sanctus Brewing Company's Barrel Aged Porter, 375ml can, 6% ABV, 1.8 standard drinks, certified independent. These guys hail out of Clarence Valley, northern New South Wales, Ree Road, Townsend, New South Wales to be precise, www.sanctusbrewing.com.au. Can statement goes, Barrel Aged Porter, one that needs no introduction. This finely crafted porter, enhanced by the beauty within the barrel, aged to perfection in ex-wine American oak barrels, scraped and recharred to enrich the full flavour and body of our porter with a hint of oak, vanilla and cherry with red wine undertones. Sounds pretty good to me. Could be a little bit left field, judging by the sort of barrels that they've used. Red wine American oak barrels. We're hoping to get those hints of vanilla, cherry and red wine undertones, that's for sure. Beers with that sort of descriptor for me do have a little bit lackluster. They're not sort of come through with the full flavour that I'm expecting, but knowing Sanctus, these guys are pretty solid. I believe, and I can smell it straight away as soon as I open that these guys would have no doubt managed to get those flavours and descriptors into this beer. It's a very light coloured porter, more like a Coca-Cola. Smells unreal from here. I haven't even got my nose close to the glass or to the can yet. Does look a bit darker on camera. It is, you can see a little bit of cherry there. It is sort of lighter coloured porter. Got some nice carbonation there, nice little fluffy head there. It's not the biggest head, but it's a continuous one. It is self-feeding, which is good. The aroma, straight up, yeah. Oh, vanilla and oak. That's the main thing that comes through straight away. And there is that sort of almost chocolatey like oak. Chocolatey velvet, sort of red wine descriptor there, aroma coming off it. Vanilla and oak, and the chocolate is what comes through the most. There's something really sort of really dessert-like on the aroma. Smells absolutely divine. Going for the taste. There's a lot of wine barrel in this particular beer. Sort of thin on the palate. A lot of char. A little bit of roast coming from the grain bill, but I feel what the guys were trying to do with this beer was not so much accentuate the actual beer, but more the product of the barrel. trying to get that sort of different sort of flavour and aroma into the beer. It is cold. I think it's going to develop a little bit more as it warms. It is very left field, as I mentioned. It would be. I had that sort of feeling about it. That's a bit better. So I do feel that because they've scraped the barrels, they've exposed a lot more of the oak. They've probably taken away, depending how they scraped it, they've probably taken away a lot of that red wine sort of appeal about it. It's definitely there in the aroma, just on the very back of it. Mostly oak, chocolate, and vanilla. I'm wondering if they've done a stout in the same sort of barrels. That I'll have to have a look for that and see whether that's what they've done. But look, he's certainly left field. It's one of those beers that I do I do enjoy because of that reason. Something a little bit different. Quite possibly would have been, maybe if they double barreled it, so maybe gone from a wine barrel to a spirit barrel. That might have longer time on the wine barrel, a little bit of time on a spirit barrel. May have helped sort of create another dimension with that particular beer. I am enjoying it. Going to allow it to warm, and hopefully we get a bit of a flavour change. But yeah, saying that, I do like it. Not much that disappoints me about Sanctus Brewing, and it's not excellent, it's not great, it's just very good. Cheers. So we've allowed the beer to warm. The Sanctus Brewing Company's barrel aged porter, aged on red wine barrels. Barrels have been scraped, expose a bit more of the oak. So like I said, we've allowed it to warm. Coming from the fridge is set to 6 degrees. It's pretty much quite similar to my pouring temperature on my Keezer. Just sped up the sort of warming process. Just checked it, it's now sitting at 11.5 degrees, and it certainly is now pushing out a lot more aroma, more of that oak, more red wine, more oak, less vanilla now. A lot more earthier, sort of woody flavours coming through. I'm getting a slight sort of juniper. A little bit tannin. A little bit of better mouthfeel as well, actually, with it being warmer, and a slight more amount of booze coming across, particularly on the aroma too. So very woody, very earthy, that juniper, as I mentioned, it's definitely there. It has actually become a lot better, my perception, my opinion. For me now, I'd rate it as it's great. It's a great beer. I've sort of found that for me particularly, that sort of sweet point is probably the warming of the beer has actually made it a lot better for me. Cheers.